The amethyst behemoth army instantly fell silent when its lord died. They stared at their lord's headless corpse with wide eyes, as if they did not expect their lord to die just as the war began. Then all the amethyst behemoth's eyes immediately turned red. Their muscles trembled, and even their bodies became much larger. Roar! Roar! Furious roars suddenly sounded from the mouths of the 18 amethyst behemoths. Then they rushed towards Blazing Sun City crazily. Keep going. Get the other Aurora Towers to attack together. Don't let them attack the city wall. Seeing this scene, Zhou ordered expressionlessly. After hearing Zhou's order, all the gunners controlling the Aurora Tower activated the Aurora Cannon polarity mode to kill these amethyst behemoths. The strongest of the remaining 18 amethyst behemoths was only at the white-silver tier advanced grade. Facing the powerful attack of the Aurora Cannon, they turned into headless corpses and fell to the ground in less than a moment. Then they turned into light spots and disappeared from the battlefield. War. At this moment, Nazario and Auguste flapped their dragon wings and flew in front of Zhou. The two pure-blooded dragons lowered their heads, not daring to look up at Zhou. Zhou smiled. You two don't have to be embarrassed. This amethyst behemoth is one of the oldest and top races among the myriad races. Probably only the deity level amongst the pure-blooded dragon race bloodline would be comparable. You dared to attack them under such circumstances instead of hiding away. In my opinion, you're already very good. Don't worry. One day, you'll overtake it. There might even be enemies stronger than the amethyst behemoth. Zhou comforted them. He had never felt that his two pure-blooded dragons were invincible. The Dragon Godlord would definitely surpass him in terms of the number of pure-blooded dragons, not to mention the amethyst behemoths. His two pure-blooded dragons were obtained by accident while the Dragon Godlord was able to summon pure-blooded dragons on a sustained basis after all. They could not be compared. However, he did not care. His territory was strong in terms of overall strength. The quantity and quality of Lord talents, dragons, military professionals, buildings, heroes, and life professionals. These factors combined were the reason why he could far surpass the other cerulean planet human lords to reach this level. However, a smile appeared on Zhou's face, looking at the dejected expressions of the two dragons. He suddenly felt that this was not bad. It was better to borrow the hands of other mythical lords to shatter their invincible hearts and let them realize that there was always someone stronger than them. He stopped thinking and turned to look at the battlefield. Amethyst behemoths were killed one after another by the Aurora Cannon's polarity mode. Among them, the Diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Tower was naturally the most useful. Under the precise control of the gunner, the Diamond-tier elementary Aurora Cannon inside was completely accurate, killing an amethyst behemoth with one polarity mode. A moment later, calmness returned to the battlefield. All the amethyst behemoths fell to the ground and became lifeless, headless corpses. Then they turned into light spots and disappeared from the battlefield. A text notification appeared. You have defeated the Amethyst Behemoth Lord, Reckless Sky Lord, Mythical Tier Intermediate Grade Lord. You have won this ranking competition. Congratulations, you have advanced to the Mythical Tier Advanced Grade in the Lord Battlefield. Congratulations, you have obtained 100,000 battlefield points. You need to participate in at least one ranking competition every 3 days. Otherwise, your rank will -1. Your battlefield shop has been updated. Ranking system notification. Respected Mythical Tier Advanced Grade Lord, as you have already been upgraded to the highest level of your current ranking, you need to continue the ranking competition and obtain a ranking score if you want to continue increasing your ranking. You will rank with the Mythical Tier Advanced Grade Lords through the ranking score. System prompt. Your current ranking score is 0. Please continue ranking and obtain ranking points to increase your ranking. Zhou could not help but sigh when he saw this. No matter how ancient and powerful these Amethyst Behemoth bloodlines were, they were still helpless against a Diamond-tier elementary grade Aurora Tower. At this stage, a Diamond-tier elementary grade Aurora Tower was completely an extraordinary weapon. These peak bloodline races whose strength had yet to grow to the extreme could not do anything to a Diamond Tier Elementary Aurora Tower at this stage. But I've really become a mythical tier advanced grade lord in rank. Zhou felt like he was in a dream. In the beginning, when the Lord battlefield activity first appeared, he did not think that he could win against the top lords of the myriad races. He might possess a mythical tier lord talent, but so might the others. His combat strength was actually not much stronger than the lords of other races without the advantage of a lord's talent. At that time, he even felt that he would succeed as long as he advanced to the extraordinary tier. However, he never expected that as he continued to develop and improve himself over the past few days, the strength of his territory became stronger and stronger day by day. His lord rank actually rose from the extraordinary tier to the epic tier, legendary tier, and even to the current mythical tier advanced tier. It was truly at the peak of the lord of all races, even though it was not the strongest. However, it was enough to make countless lords look up to it. Then he saw the change in the ranking score. His eyebrows twitched slightly. Ranking score? When did that happen? This was the first time he knew about such a thing. He opened the battlefield ranking of the Lords of all races battlefield. In the end, he realized that ranking scores had appeared behind all the titles of mythical tier advanced grade lords. Original spirit race, true lord, rank. Mythical tier advanced grade, 121 points. Myriad race lord battlefield ranking. First, chaos god race, great 1 lord, rank. Mythical tier advanced grade, 104 points. Myriad race lord battlefield ranking. Second, shepherd's god race, heaven chasing lord, rank. Mythical tier advanced grade, 88 points. Myriad race lord battlefield ranking. Third, the ranking scores aren't high. Could it be something that just appeared? Zhou guessed in his heart. He had only looked at the rankings in the morning yesterday and had not looked at the rest of the time. Not surprisingly, it should be a new function added during this period of time. But the top 3 are really close. Zhou clicked his tongue in wonder. Then he slid down and quickly found his ranking. Cerulean planet human race, Lord of the Blazing Sun, rank. Mythical tier advanced grade, 0 points. Myriad race lord battlefield ranking, 9th. I'm in 9th place. Zhou nodded slightly. This was not surprising since there were only 9 lords of mythical tier advanced grade. He was the last. Zhou glanced at the 8th place and was a little surprised. It was actually a lord he was familiar with. Extreme Dragon Race, Extreme Venerable Lord, rank. Mythical tier advanced grade, 15 points. Myriad race lord battlefield ranking, 8th. Zhou was naturally not unfamiliar with this lord. 4 days ago, when the Lord of all races battlefield activity had just begun, this extreme venerable of the extreme dragon race had directly rushed to the 3rd place on the Lord of all races battlefield ranking. It was second only to the original spirit race and the chaos god race. Now, the original spirit race and the chaos god race were still firmly in control of the top 2 positions. And this extreme venerable had actually fallen to the 8th place. Zhou did not mock its thoughts, even though it was now ranked 8th. However, since he could enter the top 3 on the first day, his strength was undoubtedly top-notch. He could only say that all mythical tier lords were abnormal. Even the extreme venerable was lagging behind. And now he had also become one of these perverted lords. Zhou did not sigh too much. He came to the gunner controlling the diamond tier elementary grade Aurora Tower. How much attack energy is left in this Aurora Tower? He asked. Reporting to my lord. Currently, the Aurora Tower only has 37% of its attack energy left. The gunner reported respectfully. Zhou frowned slightly. 37%? After a ranking battle, he consumed 63% of his attack energy? How long will it take to replenish everything? It will take about 15 hours from the time the sun rises. If I start absorbing the light elemental energy now, I'll probably only be able to replenish it at 10 p.m. without using the Aurora Tower. Zhou was silent. Then wouldn't he only be able to use the Diamond Tier Elementary Grade Aurora Tower once a day? He thought for a while and heaved a sigh of relief. Once a day was fine too. It was fine as long as it could steadily increase his rank. Moreover, it could reach this level on the 4th day. After 6 days, his strength might not necessarily reach that level. Perhaps he wouldn't have to rely on the Diamond Tier Elementary Aurora Tower when the time came and he could steadily upgrade his rank? After that, he thought about it and did not continue to rank. After all, his greatest trump card, the Diamond Tier Elementary Grade Aurora Tower, did not have much attack energy left. The remaining attack energy needed to be saved to guard against danger in the real world and protect his Blazing Sun City. Elder Wu had yet to completely master the Greedy Wolf Totem, so he could not use it on the Lord battlefield. Nazario also needed to preserve its internal energy so that it could conquer regional territories in reality. For example, the yellow gold tier regional territory of the Taiyan Kingdom Twilight Town. Under such circumstances, if he forcefully ranked, his rank might decrease instead of rising. Naturally, he could not do such a stupid thing. Thinking of this, he led everyone out of the Lord battlefield and asked Bai Yun to bring people back to rest and prepare to conquer other regions in an hour. He returned to his Lord Manor and opened the Lord battlefield interface. He first looked at his battlefield information. Title: Lord of the Blazing Sun. Rank: Mythical Tier Elementary Grade. Number of rankings tries: 94. Battlefield points: 341,156. Zhou shook his head. Yesterday, he only had 22 ranking tries, all obtained from conquering the territory previously. Then, the 3 white silver tier regional territories yesterday, including all the Scarlet Lord's territories, gave him a total of 72 ranking tries and 152 battlefield points. 152 battlefield points were naturally useless, and 72 rankings were too many. Zhou guessed. The Supreme will probably felt that the Lords should have some wins and losses in their respective ranks and would have to consume many rankings. However, to a top Lord like Zhou, to him, ranking was destined to lose more than win. Therefore, he only used a very small number of rankings to rush to the mythical tier advanced grade, leaving him with so many rankings. I'm afraid I won't be able to use all these rankings until the end of the Lord battlefield activity. Maybe there will be more left, Zhou muttered in his heart. However, he did not care too much. It wouldn't affect anything anyway. Then, he opened his Lord Battlefield shop and used 100,000 battlefield points to exchange for the legendary tier Master Servant territory contract that he had not exchanged for last time. This could turn a legendary tier territory into his subordinate territory. Could be considered a post-production tool. He did not expect to obtain it now with this activity. However, he naturally did not have the strength to make a lord with a legendary tier territory take the initiative to become his subordinate territory. He could only use it in the future. Then, he looked at the other goods. There were only 3 new products added to the mythical tier advanced grade battlefield shop. As follows. 1. True God tier recruitment card. Remaining purchases: 1. Price: 300,000 battlefield points. 2. Mythical tier Master Servant territory contract. Remaining purchases: 1. Price: 200,000 battlefield points. 3. Illustrated Handbook of All Races, Book 10. Remaining purchases: 1. Price: 100,000 battlefield points. The last 2 goods. Zhou was not surprised. However, when he saw the first product, he immediately held his breath and his breathing became heavy. A true God-tier race member recruitment card? He immediately opened the item to check its details. Treasure name: True God-tier recruitment card. Treasure grade: True God-tier advanced grade. Treasure effect: throw it into the gate of summoning. You can summon a member of the same race as the Lord and have the potential of a true God-tier higher level to become your territory's subject. Treasure description: top-notch race member recruitment card. A reward specially prepared by the Supreme Will for mythical tier advanced grade lords. Oh my god! After using it, I can actually obtain a clansman with the potential of a true God-tier advanced grade. Zhou's eyes widened. True God-tier advanced grade. He remembered that the King of Abyssal Knights by he, who had the fate of a true God-tier hero, only had Master God-tier intermediate grade potential. This potential definitely had the bonus of a hero. Otherwise, he would definitely not be able to reach the Master God Tier Intermediate grade potential. It would be a true God Tier Advanced grade or a Master God Tier Elementary grade at best. The potential of the subjects that this clan member recruitment card could summon could actually reach the true God Tier Advanced grade. If she could grow successfully, wouldn't she be another king of Abyssal Knights in the future? Thinking of this, Zhou did not hesitate to spend 300,000 battlefield points to exchange for it. As for the Myriad Race Illustrations, Book 10, and the Mythical Tier Lord Subject Territory contract, he would think about it later. Soon, a golden card appeared in front of Zhou. This card was about the size of 2 palms. It was rectangular and depicted a mysterious creature in a cloak. When Zhou saw this, he immediately went to the Gate of Summoning and threw the true God Tier recruitment card into the door. The next second, the golden light of the Gate of Summoning shone brightly, far brighter than when it usually summoned its subjects. Zhou was a little surprised. This was the first time he had seen such a magical scene in the Gate of Summoning, as expected of a clansman with true God Tier potential. A moment later, a 14 or 15-year-old youth walked out of the Gate of Summoning. He had delicate features, fair skin, red lips, and white teeth. His eyes revealed a spiritual aura. Anyone who looked at him would think that he was a beautiful young man who made people love him. "Are you my lord?" The young man looked at Zhou with shining eyes. "Right. Welcome to Blazing Sun City." Zhou was stunned for a moment before nodding with a smile. He looked at his personal information. Subject, Xiao Xian. Territory, Blazing Sun City. Battle class name, none. Life profession, none. Ability overview. A young man with 9 apertures in his heart is curious about everything in the world. Skills. Talent, 9 apertures, heavenly heart. Talent, celestial appearance. Talent, immortal martial sacred body. Talent, blessing of the god of fortune. Talent, danger prediction. Loyalty, 100, dead loyal. Potential, true God Tier Advanced grade. After Zhou saw his attributes, there was only one thought in his mind. Good God. He has no abilities, only talents. Zhou had seen many people with their own talents up till now. However, most of them only had 1 talent. Those with 2 talents were already extremely rare, and Zhou had never heard of anyone with 3 talents. And this young man with true God Tier Advanced grade potential in front of him was actually born with 5 talents. Ridiculous. Simply too ridiculous. Zhou could not help but click on the 5 talents. Talent, 9 apertures, heavenly heart. Talent effect, 9 apertures in the heart. His comprehension has already reached the limit of all living beings in the world. He can easily master any knowledge and ability. Moreover, he can draw inferences and master more knowledge and abilities. Talent, celestial appearance. Talent effect. A life form with celestial appearance has an extraordinary charm. When life forms of any race see a living being with celestial appearance, they will see a beauty that suits their aesthetic standards. Talent, immortal martial sacred body. Talent effect. Living beings with the immortal martial sacred body are natural martial artists. They can easily master any difficult martial arts secret manual. After a person with immortal martial sacred body embarks on the path of martial arts, not only can they improve rapidly, there is also a chance of comprehending the legendary immortal martial technique from ordinary martial arts secret manuals. Talent, blessing of the god of fortune. Talent effect. This life form is favored by the god of fortune and can easily obtain good luck. Talent, danger prediction. Talent effect. This creature has a certain chance of sensing danger before it descends and avoiding disaster. After Zhou saw these 5 talents, he could not help but fall silent. He looked at Xiao Xian with a complicated expression. This is the protagonist, right? This must be the protagonist, right? These 5 talents were completely standard for the protagonist. With these 5 talents, Xiao Xian would likely be able to easily become an expert of the higher continent. Right, and his name, Xiao Xian. What a name with the protagonist style. Zhou sighed. in front of this young man's name. He felt that he had nothing to do with being the protagonist other than his name being 2 words. "My lord, what are you thinking about?" Little Xiao Xian looked at Zhou Zhou curiously. "Nothing." Zhou Zhou came back to his senses and stroked Xiao Xian's head. The more he looked at this little guy, the more he liked him. Why was a little boy so cute? Tsk. His celestial appearance was indeed not to be underestimated. "Little Xiao Xian, do you want to become a martial artist?" Zhou Zhou asked. After seeing his immortal martial sacred body talent, he naturally knew that the most suitable path for this little fellow to walk on was the path of martial arts. This path was the same as adventurers and was already common on the high continent, but it was undeniable. It was precisely because it was common that the path of a martial artist was also one of the extraordinary paths with the greatest potential and inheritance. Martial artist? Is that the kind of extraordinary professional who can use all kinds of handsome moves? Xiao Xian's eyes lit up as he finished speaking. Then, he even posed a few martial arts moves. Zhou Zhou's eyes lit up. Even though little Xiao Xian had yet to become a professional martial artist, these martial arts moves were executed smoothly and vigorously. He did not feel like a layman at all. What shocked Zhou Zhou the most was that when little Xiao Xian executed these martial arts moves, he realized that the energy in his surroundings actually changed with his movements, as if it was responding to his martial arts movements. My God, this was very difficult even for professional martial artists. This was because when martial artists used professional moves, they relied on their own internal strength, which was the energy in their bodies, not the energy of the world. Little Xiao Xian was so young, but he could actually do this. Zhou Zhou vaguely felt that this might be related to immortal martial artist. Yes. Are you willing to learn? Many thoughts flashed through Zhou Zhou's mind, and he asked with a smile. Little Xiao Xian nodded repeatedly and looked at Zhou Zhou expectantly. Zhou Zhou smiled. He flipped his right hand and a warrior class change certificate appeared in his hand. After Zhou Zhou told little Xiao Xian the use and usage of the book, little Xiao Xian immediately thanked him excitedly. Then, he took it and used it without hesitation. He closed his eyes and felt the feeling of stepping onto the path of transcendence. Soon he opened his eyes. His eyes were filled with excitement. So this is a martial artist. I've become a martial artist. Little Xiao Xian was so excited that he could not control himself. There's a dojo in the territory. If you want to learn martial arts manuals, you can go and acknowledge your master. Don't worry about anything else. The territory will be responsible for all your martial arts expenses. Zhou Zhou said. My lord, you're so good to me. Little Xiao Xian hugged Zhou Zhou's thigh, his eyes filled with reverence. Little imp. Zhou Zhou looked at this kid and the corners of his mouth could not help but twitch. He could see the cunning in this kid's eyes at a glance. Little Xiao Xian was truly grateful for his care. However, it was probably true that he wanted more benefits from this performance. However, Zhou Zhou did not dislike his performance. Instead, he liked it. In the chaotic world of the high continent, being smart was better than being stupid. Go to the Gnome Alchemy Workshop and ask them for a white silver tier elementary grade mechanostrider. Tell them I gave it to you. Consider it your little gift. He thought for a moment and said, White silver tier elementary grade? Little Xiao Xian's eyes immediately widened. He did not know what a mechanostrider was, but he knew what a white silver tier elementary grade was. That was a standard treasure that only white silver tier experts would treat. His lordship was actually willing to give him a treasure of this level. He looked at Zhou Zhou with even more reverence. After that, he stayed beside Zhou Zhou for a while. Then, he could no longer hold back the anticipation and excitement in his heart, and happily ran in the direction of the Gnome Alchemy Workshop. After running for a while, he suddenly stopped and looked in a direction. An old man with a burly figure and a blood-colored saber hanging from his waist stood quietly. The sharpness occasionally revealed in his eyes caused Xiao Xian's eyes to immediately light up. He ran to his side without hesitation. Hello, Grandpa. Are you a martial artist? He asked obediently. Little Xiao Xian was very good at using the advantage of his appearance and temperament, and had always been quite proud of it. Where did this brat come from? Luo Feng frowned slightly as he looked at little Xiao Xin. When he saw little Xiao Xin's appearance, he raised his eyebrows slightly before calming down. After killing so many people, his heart had long been as cold as his knife. Can I learn martial arts from you? Seeing that Luo Feng did not speak, little Xiao Xin asked expectantly. A mocking smile appeared on Luo Feng's face and he was about to say something. Suddenly, his eyes narrowed slightly as he squatted down and pressed everywhere on Xiao Xin's body. Soon, Luo Feng stood up with surprise in his eyes. What a top-grade innate ability! I can't even figure out the upper limit of his innate ability. He muttered in his heart. You really want to acknowledge me as your master? Luo Feng looked down at him and asked. However, the Lord said that I should go to the dojo in the territory first. He suddenly looked hesitant. Ha ha ha. Why should you bow to those martial artists who follow the rules? They're just a bunch of weak chickens. In terms of the strongest martial artist in Blazing Sun City, it belongs to me, Blood Demon Saber, Luo Feng. It's definitely not a problem for you to acknowledge me as your master. If you don't believe me, ask the Lord. Luo Feng was extremely arrogant. Even though he had been secretly protecting the Starfire mercenary team during this period of time, his strength had not fallen and had even increased greatly. He had already become a white platinum tier elementary grade martial artist. He was not far from becoming a diamond tier elementary grade, even though such combat strength was not the strongest among the many experts in the territory. For example, he could not defeat Nazario and Wu Xian. However, he was definitely the first among the martial artists in Blazing Sun City. Okay. Then I'll go ask now, little Xiao Xian said when he heard this. Then he immediately returned and found Zhou. Luo Feng, you want to acknowledge him as your master? Zhou was a little surprised. He naturally would not forget this reputation-rating talent. Even though this person was a little unruly, however, its loyalty to him was still alright. Moreover, his potential was also at the extraordinary tier intermediate grade and his strength was quite good. Coupled with his experience, his future could be said to be bright. Thinking of this, the other party was indeed very suitable to be little Xiao Xian's teacher. Little Xiao Xian nodded excitedly after Zhou told him his thoughts. Then, he bade farewell to Zhou and immediately went to look for Luo Feng. Zhou watched him leave and frowned slightly when he thought of Luo Feng's white platinum tier advanced grade strength. The strength of a white platinum tier advanced grade was already considered a powerhouse in a kingdom-level faction. It shouldn't be a problem to protect little Xiao Xian, right? He thought about it and was still a little worried. So he sent someone to call Sun Qian, a white platinum tier elementary grade beast tamer, and asked him to secretly send a message to Luo Feng to protect little Xiao Xian. At the same time, he asked Sun Qian to protect Xiao Xian in the dark. Even though Sun Qian's pets with different methods were not very strong, their life-saving ability was still stronger than Luo Feng's. With this protection, Xiao Xian's growth should not be in any danger for the time being. Zhou had been worried sick in order to let this clansman with the potential of a true god-tier advanced grade grow up rationally. However, he still felt that it was not enough. It's better to increase the means if I can give little Xiao Xian more means to protect himself in the future. Zhou thought. If such a subject with the potential of a true god-tier advanced grade died during his growth, his heart would ache. At the same time, the lords on the World Channel also discovered that Zhou had reached the mythical tier advanced grade. All the lords were excited. Oh my god! There's actually a lord of our cerulean planet who can reach the top of the myriad race lord battlefield ranking? Am I seeing things? We shouldn't be wrong if there's no second cerulean planet human in the myriad worlds. Nor is there a second lord of the blazing sun among the cerulean planet humans. Everyone, look at me. I have something to announce. The Lord of the Blazing Sun is my father. There's no need for that. Didn't they say that the racial bloodline level of our cerulean planet's human race isn't high? Why did one of us reach the top of the mythical tier advanced grade? I can only say that the Lord of the Blazing Sun is too strong. He was just lucky. If I had the luck and opportunity of the Lord of the Blazing Sun, I could do better than him. The autopsy report of the previous poster is out. His entire body is soft, and only his mouth is hard. Is it so difficult to admit that others are strong? No wonder the Night Lord couldn't destroy the Lord of the Blazing Sun even after gathering more than 100 lords. He's already so strong. You have to pay attention if you want to deal with the Lord of the Blazing Sun. Don't make the same mistake as the Night Lord. It's best not to deal with the Lord of the Blazing Sun without the cooperation of more than 500 lords. Are we destined to live in the shadow of the Lord of the Blazing Sun in the future? Lord of the Blazing Sun, are you peeping at the screen? I'm your fan. Can I be your friend? In the Overlord Lord's territory, the Overlord Lord flew in the air with his upper body naked and a circle of blood-colored beast skin tied to his waist. His entire body was covered in blood-red engravings. He had a pair of purple twisted dragon horns on his head and a pair of blood-red dragon wings on his back. At this moment, he was frowning as he watched the Lord's discussion on the World Channel. Then, he opened the rankings of the Myriad Races Lord Battlefield and looked at the words of the Lord of the Blazing Sun, who was ranked 9th. He's really advanced to the mythical tier advance grade. How did he do it? Xiang Shuaba muttered. He had great ambitions and would never be easily swayed by external things. However, he still fell silent when he saw the ranking of the Lord of the Blazing Sun. He thought that his legendary tier Lord talent, the gluttonous demon body, was very strong. However, at this stage, even if he tried his best, he felt that it would be very difficult for him to enter the extraordinary tier, let alone the mythical tier. His Lord talent was inclined to increase his personal combat strength after all. His Lord talent did not give him much advantage in a place like the Lord Battlefield that tested the overall strength of the Lord talent. The Lords on the World Channel are right. Even a mythical tier Lord's talent might not be able to raise the Cerulean planet's human Lord to the mythical tier advance grade. The Lord of the Blazing Sun probably has other methods to increase his combat strength on the Lord Battlefield. What? An opponent worthy of going all out against. Xiang Shuaba's eyes burned with fighting spirit again. Then he looked in a direction. In his perception, there was a powerful fog monster in that direction that had reached the yellow gold tier. Kill it and eat all its flesh. Perhaps he could rely on the gluttonous demon body to obtain stronger abilities from it and close the distance between him and the Lord of the Blazing Sun. Thinking of this, he turned into a blood-colored stream of light and rushed towards the fog monster. In front of the wyvern's nest, the Dragon Lady also saw the latest ranking of the Lord of the Blazing Sun and the discussion on the World Channel. Just like the Overlord Lord, she was also stunned when she saw the results of the Lord of the Blazing Sun. That guy could actually reach the top of the mythical tier advance grade on his own. She had established her own Lord alliance from the beginning, but she was still lingering at the diamond tier. She could not even advance to the promotion competition. What she's doing, is it really meaningful? The Dragon Lady Lord thought blankly. Night Temple. The Silver Meteorite Knight, Rob, was resting in the lounge. He had just fought in the abyss and was about to exhaust his stamina, but he had a smile on his face. It was so fun killing them. He sighed. There were not many enemies on the high continent that could make him attack with all his might so fearlessly. Only in a place like the Abyss, where the world was his enemy, could he fight so happily. Have you heard? A human lord has reached the top of the mythical tier advance grade in the Lord of All Races event set up by the Supreme Will. Fuck. So fierce? Which human lord? I think it's called the Cerulean Planet Human Race. Cerulean Planet's human race? Is there such a person among the top humans? I don't remember. Neither do I. Where did this Lord of the Blazing Sun come from? When Rob first heard these words, his ears pricked up. When he heard the last Lord of the Blazing Sun, he immediately stood up. The Cerulean Planet's human race? Lord of the Blazing Sun? How did he reach the top of the mythical tier advance grade? Could it be that he used that power again? Luobu could not help but frown when he thought of the consequences. After thinking for a few seconds, he immediately walked into the hall. At the same time, in Blazing Sun City, Zhou looked at the man in front of him in surprise. Is this the talent attracted by my reputation rating? Subordinate Feng Luo. Greetings, my lord. Feng Luo, who looked like a middle-aged man, said respectfully with a saber and shield on his back. Welcome to Blazing Sun City. Zhou smiled. He looked at the saber and shield on Feng Luo's back. Even though he couldn't see anything on the surface, he felt a little strange. His new reputation rating talent was actually a sword-shield soldier. Logically speaking, talents attracted by the reputation rating should be very strong. It shouldn't be a problem for such a strong talent to obtain a higher-level soldier class change, right? Why was he still a sword-shield soldier? I've heard of my lord's name for a long time. I can consider to have fulfilled one of my wishes to be able to become the lord's subject today. A faint smile appeared on Feng Luo's cold face after hearing Zhou's words. He looked at the smile on Zhou's face and the simple smiles on the faces of the ordinary subjects surrounding him. He sighed and was touched. In the high continent, a place filled with war, it was really rare to see such an honest and happy smile. He had not come to the wrong place. Feng Luo thought to himself. Zhou also nodded when he heard the other party's words. Then, he opened the other party's attribute panel. Subject: Feng Luo. Territory: Blazing Sun City. Soldier type: Sword Shield Soldier. Strength level: White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade. Ability overview: A sword shield soldier from a destroyed country. He has been wandering all year round and has seen many sorrows and joys in the human world. He has pity for the living beings of the world. His dream is to use his saber and shield to create a peaceful place to live for more living beings who have suffered from war. Because he has used his saber and shield all year round, Feng Luo's understanding of sword-shield soldier has already surpassed the limit of his profession and walked the path of his own sword-shield soldier. Skills: White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade Sword and Shield Combination Technique. White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade Shield Breaking Technique. White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade Arrow Control Technique. White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade Sword Slashing Technique. White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade Spear Breaking Technique. White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade Hunyuan Combat Body. Loyalty: 89. Potential: Epic Tier Elementary Grade. Zhou was slightly surprised. Epic Tier Elementary Grade potential. Such potential was rare even among his many reputation rating talents. This was really a legendary tier talent that surprised him. When he saw the last sentence in Feng Luo's ability overview, he came to a realization. He had actually walked his own path as a sword shield soldier after using his sword shield for a long time. It was really extraordinary. No wonder he had such strength and potential, but had yet to replace higher-level military professions. This Feng Luo, his future was probably not ordinary. Zhou remembered the other party and asked, "Are you willing to join my Blazing Sun Army?" Yes. Before coming here, Feng Luo had already found out that the reputation of Blazing Sun City was mostly earned by this lord and the Blazing Sun Army under his command. It was also because of the Blazing Sun Army that the people of Blazing Sun City have such a peaceful life. Under such circumstances, joining the Blazing Sun Army coincided with his wish. In addition, he was also a professional soldier, so he was naturally willing to join the Blazing Sun Army and fight for the Lord of the Blazing Sun and his subjects. Okay. Go find Bai Yun. She's your commander. Make some preparations. In a while we'll go out and fight. Zhou nodded in satisfaction. Even though there were already many yellow gold tier professionals in his Blazing Sun Army, there were still very few white platinum tier professionals, less than 5 of them in total. Therefore, he was quite happy that Feng Luo had joined them. Yes, my lord, Feng Luo said respectfully. Seeing this, Zhou called over a soldier and asked him to bring Feng Luo to Bai Yun. After thinking for a moment, he left the spot and walked in a certain direction. A moment later, in Lia's room, my lord wants the corpses of the honorable subjects. Lia looked at Zhou in surprise and understood what he was thinking. My lord, do you want to build more diamond-tier elementary grade Aurora Towers? She asked. However, she was already quite certain. Yes. Zhou nodded. The Diamond Elementary Aurora Tower is extremely important to us now. so I want to build a few more. That's why. In addition to trading the corpses of some honorable subjects, I also want to rent these talents from your country that can help build the diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Tower and buy some corresponding building materials to build them. Price is not a problem, Zhou said. With the heavenly mist treasure bag, he could now create high-level mist cores and trade in high-end goods. Leah nodded. She thought for a moment and gradually looked troubled. If it's not easy to trade the corpses of diamond-tier honorable subjects, white platinum-tier honorable subject corpses are fine too. To be honest with you, I have other channels to obtain diamond-tier Aurora crystals, Zhou said. This was naturally a falsehood. To his king of loots, the corpses of the white platinum-tier honorable subjects could also be extracted from diamond-tier Aurora crystals and used to build the diamond-tier elementary Aurora Tower. When he said that he wanted to exchange for the corpses of the diamond-tier honorable subjects, it was just a speaking technique. Okay. Our diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Tower should be completed tonight. I'll bring it back to my country immediately. Then I'll discuss with my father about your matter. This matter is not a big deal. My father shouldn't refuse. Leah heaved a sigh of relief and smiled. The corpses of the white platinum-tier honorable subjects were not very precious. It was not a problem to trade them. That's good. A smile appeared on Zhou's face. With more diamond-tier elementary Aurora Towers, he could fight a few more battles on the Lord battlefield every day. He would also be more confident in facing the top lords ranked at the top, so he did not have to worry about the Aurora Tower not having enough energy to attack. How about this? Since your country is willing to trade Aurora crystals with us, I'm naturally not petty. In the future, if your country wants to build more diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Towers, just come to us. The price is negotiable, Zhou said. Really? Leah's eyes lit up. Of course it's true. I have a harmonious relationship with your country. Why would I lie? Zhou smiled. Thank you, my lord. Leah thanked him. She immediately looked forward to it. If she could bring back more diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Towers, the predicament facing their Aurora Kingdom would definitely be relieved. It was even possible to completely resolve the current predicament. Zhou looked at Leah in front of him and could tell that she was sincerely thinking for her country, who said that women were inferior to men. Zhou sighed inwardly. As for the feelings between the two of them, that wasn't made evident. In the face of national matters, the two of them subconsciously did not discuss it. Then, the two of them chatted for a while before Zhou left. Not long after Zhou left, Yu Chao quickly walked out of her room and came behind Leah. This lord is really impressive. When we first arrived, he was only an ordinary lord who looked good. Even His Majesty values him so much now. How long has it been? Yu Chao said. Then, she looked at Leah and suddenly covered her mouth and smiled. If only he could be with you, your highness. His Majesty will definitely not refuse. Who could reject a lord with a bright future as their son-in-law? Leah pursed her lips. She looked in the direction Zhou had left in a daze. I want to be with this lord too. But the 9 million subjects of the Aurora Kingdom are waiting for me. Their lives are much more important than my personal feelings. I can't let them down. Her eyes gradually became firm. Yu Chao looked at the princess in a daze. This was the first time she had seen her princess so boldly and calmly say that she liked a man. But why did her words make her heart ache so much? On the other side, in the night temple. What? The Lord of the Blazing Sun advanced to the mythical tier advance grade without using the power of the dragon-slaying will. Rob looked at the teacher opposite him in surprise. He sat on a black and blood-colored demon throne. After hearing his disciple's words, he nodded calmly. How is that possible? How did he defeat those top lords of all races without the help of the dragon-slaying will? He would probably lose if he encountered a pure-blooded dragon lord or a lord with a god spirit bloodline, right? Rob still found it hard to believe. He had checked the bloodline of the Cerulean planet's human race. It could only be considered below average among the human race. Not to mention in the environment of the lords of all races. It was very difficult to surpass those top-notch lords of all races even with the help of a top-notch lord talent. Logically speaking, they shouldn't be able to achieve good results in a place like the Lord battlefield, right? How did he do it? Rob muttered. We have no right to interfere no matter how he achieved it. Moreover, we should be happy since our human race has such an outstanding human lord. Oh yes, the Lord of the Blazing Sun hasn't used the slot for the hero inheritance yet, right? He suddenly asked. Not yet, Rob said. White River pondered for a moment and said, Convene the Three Kings Conference. Fight for another candidate slot for the hero inheritance for the Lord of the Blazing Sun. Rob was taken aback. There was a limited number of hero inheritances, so the number of candidate slots for each hero inheritance was extremely precious. In order to determine the number of candidates for the hero inheritance, he, as the Temple Lord of the Night Temple, could not make a decision alone. He had to gather some of the strongest humans for a special meeting to discuss. Only after the meeting was passed could he make a final decision. The Three Kings Conference was one of such meetings. It could usually be used to discuss the candidates for an extraordinary tier hero inheritance. As for the higher-level candidates for the hero inheritance, they would need to be decided by the higher-level Kings Conference. From this, it could be seen how precious the candidate slot for the hero inheritance was. He did not expect that the Lord of the Blazing Sun would actually have such luck. Thinking of this, Rob thought of the other party's achievements and suddenly understood why his teacher had made such a decision. Yes, teacher. I'll go prepare for the Three Kings Conference now. Rob left with that. After he saw his disciple leave, he turned to look at the scenery of Blazing Sun City outside the window and the sun that had just risen in the distance. Lord of the Blazing Sun, I hope you can really become the new blazing sun of our human race, he said softly. A moment later, in front of Blazing Sun City, a total of 82,692 Blazing Sun Army soldiers and 4,378 members of the Monster Army were gathered here. Other than the fact that some of the teams in the Monster Army were not in order, the other soldiers of the Blazing Sun Army were all standing tall and straight. Their brows were filled with an unstoppable murderous aura and fighting spirit. It was obvious that they were veterans. Other than that, the armor and weapons each of them wore were made by the blacksmiths in the territory. They were equipment that matched their strength and realm. Moreover, there was no need to buy these equipment. The territory would give them equipment comparable to their strength for free. Zhou nodded in satisfaction. The large number of battles every day not only brought him glorious results, but it also allowed his army to quickly grow into an elite army. It was not in vain that he had invested so much effort and resources in them. He said nothing. Then, he called Bayun over and asked her to choose 10,000 soldiers to guard Blazing Sun City and be in charge of protecting it. 10,000 soldiers was enough. His territory was protected by the Supreme Barrier after all, and there was also the Aurora Tower as a defensive building on the city wall. Moreover, he had the Green Bronze Tier Lord talent return to the city and the Bloodbat avatar. He could understand the situation in Blazing Sun City in time and return in time. Under these measures, leaving these 10,000 soldiers was just a precaution. He did not waste any more time after that. He ordered all the soldiers of the Blazing Sun Army and the Monster Army to board the Black Ghost and fly towards Dark Night Town. More than a minute later, they had already flown to the Sandstorm Forbidden Land. 10,000 meters in the sky. My good lord! Zhou stood in front of the window and looked at the scenery outside in surprise. Black-gray tornadoes and sandstorms gathered densely, forming a terrifying scene like the abyss of a sandstorm. I thought that the sandstorm tornado in the Sandstorm Forbidden Land would definitely not affect me at such a height of 10,000 meters. I didn't expect that. It actually hasn't exceeded the height of the sandstorm tornado at this height. Zhou frowned slightly. Was this the strength of a legendary tier advanced grade hero? My lord, do you want to continue flying higher? When Yu's voice sounded. Continue, Zhou said firmly. He wanted to see how high the sandstorm tornado in the Sandstorm Forbidden Land could be. Moreover, he had never been so high in the sky before. He also wanted to see if there was anything different at such a high altitude. Yes, my lord. When you trailed off. Then Zhou saw the black ghost continue to climb higher. 11,000 meters. 13,000 meters. 15,000 meters. This height had already exceeded the protective range of the supreme barrier. Zhou's expression immediately turned serious. 18,000 meters. 20,000 meters. Right at this moment, Zhou and the others finally flew past the height of the sandstorm tornado and arrived above it. Zhou heaved a sigh of relief. They finally flew over it. He had thought that the King of Eternal Silence was really so powerful that he could be affected by his storm magic even from a height of 20,000 meters. Flying over the sandstorm forbidden land. Continue moving towards Dark Night Town. Stop when we pass by the Green Forest. I plan to capture the Green Forest and another white silver-tier territory to the south. After capturing these two white silver-tier regional territories, we can open up the path from the Sandstorm Forbidden Land to Dark Night Town. When the time comes, we can attack or defend. When we attack Dark Night Town, we won't have anything to worry about. Zhou pondered. Even though he had a deal with the King of Eternal Silence, it was not a problem for him to pass through the Sandstorm Forbidden Land directly. But as a lord, he also had the responsibility to explore the surrounding environment of his territory. Especially in a place like the sky, there was naturally nothing to explore in the cerulean planet sky. But what about the high continent? Perhaps there were some treasures in the sky? Perhaps there was also a territory in the sky that could be conquered? Zhou was naturally very curious about this. Yes, my lord. When you trailed off, the next second, an astonishing red light suddenly flickered in his room. Warning! Warning! A powerful creature is approaching the Black Ghost. Energy rating. Legendary tier elementary grade. Suggestion. Escape. When Yu's mechanical voice sounded. At the same time, a black virtual screen suddenly appeared in the air in front of Zhou. There was an image displayed on it. In the black clouds flickering with lightning, a black-blue pterodactyl with a wingspan of more than 1,000 meters was flying towards the Black Ghost at an astonishing speed. Zhou looked at him. A notification appeared. Monster name: Sky-devouring Thunder Dragon Simon, Crimson Kingdom Scarlet Lord. Strength level: Legendary tier elementary grade. Monster description: the strongest Scarlet Lord in the Blazing Sun Desert. He controls the entire Blazing Sun Desert and has many Sandman subjects under his command. He is good at summoning, and was once a member of the Emperor of Sand's race when the Emperor of Sand was alive. Loots: 200 legendary tier mist cores. Drop rate: 100%. 500 origin crystals. Drop rate: 100%. 1 legendary tier elementary grade equipment. Sky-devouring divine stone. Drop rate: 10%. 1 legendary tier elementary grade skill book. Thunderstorm. Drop rate: 5%. 1 legendary tier elementary grade skill book. Sky-devouring stomach. Drop rate: 5%. 1 legendary tier elementary grade treasure. Aurora lightning wings. Drop rate: 2%. 1 legendary tier elementary grade alchemist recruitment book. Drop rate: 1%. 1 legendary tier elementary grade alchemy technology master recruitment book. Drop rate: 1%. Quick! Quick! Fly into the sandstorm tornado. When Zhou saw the other party's attribute information, he immediately felt his scalp tingle. A legendary tier elementary grade Crimson Kingdom Scarlet Lord. It would probably not be enough to fill the gaps between this monster's teeth even if they attacked with all their might. Escape. They had to escape. Yes. When Yu's voice sounded in Zhou's mind. At the same time, the Black Ghost also suddenly changed direction and flew in the direction of the sandstorm tornado at maximum power. The Black Spirit and the sandstorm tornado were getting closer and closer. At this moment, darkness suddenly covered the Black Spirit. Zhou suddenly felt a tremor under his feet before calming down. He looked out the window. He realized that it was dark outside the window. Have we entered the sandstorm tornado area? Zhou asked. We've entered. When you trailed off. Zhou heaved a sigh of relief. The stomach of the sky-devouring thunder dragon. When you finished off. Zhou. We entered the stomach of the sky-devouring thunder dragon? After a few seconds of silence. Zhou took a deep breath and confirmed again. Yes, my lord. According to my calculations, the black ghost will be melted by the stomach fluid of the sky-devouring thunder dragon in another 15 minutes. At that time, all the life forms in the spaceship will dissolve and die. When you said, "Is there any way?" Zhou did not say anything. Instead, he tried to use return to the city once and realized that it could be used. This made him heave a sigh of relief and frown. He could use the white silver tier return to the city to bring 1,000 subordinates back to Blazing Sun City. However, he had brought more than 77,000 soldiers here. If he only brought back 1,000 subordinates, it meant that he had to give up on the remainder of the 77,000 soldiers and let them stay here to be digested by the stomach fluid of the sky-devouring thunder dragon. This was naturally not what he wanted to see. My apologies, my lord. Wenya has no choice. The difference between the black ghost and this legendary tier elementary grade sky-devouring thunder dragon is too great. When you can't resolve the current predicament at all. When you said shamefully, Zhou frowned. Was he really going to give up on his subjects? He was conflicted. Suddenly, he thought of something. Oh yes. Did you fly in when you flew down the sandstorm tornado? Zhou asked. No. The sky-devouring thunder dragon is too fast. Wenya was only more than 3,000 meters away from flying into the sandstorm tornado, but the sky-devouring thunder dragon flew across the distance between us and swallowed us whole. Wenya was a little embarrassed. To Wenya, a distance of more than 3,000 meters was just a blink of an eye. However, she encountered the sky-devouring thunder dragon with even more abnormal speed and was eaten by it. She had no choice. Zhou frowned deeply. Could this be fate? If they could be eaten by the sky-devouring thunder dragon after entering the sandstorm tornado, they might be sensed by the king of eternal silence and his wife who controlled the sandstorm tornado. Then, they might be able to attract the couple's attention. They were a pair of legendary tier advanced grade heroes. It was definitely not a problem to deal with a legendary tier elementary grade sky-devouring thunder dragon that was not even a hero. Unfortunately, they were eaten by the sky-devouring thunder dragon before they could escape into the sandstorm tornado. From the looks of it, he was not saved yet. The king of eternal silence and his wife probably didn't notice their existence at all. Zhou was silent for a moment. With a flip of his right hand, a black and gold ancient scroll appeared. It was the death immunity scroll that he had exchanged for with a Holy Spirit-level faith divine crystal from the God of Death Temple. Treasure name: Death Immunity Scroll. Treasure grade: Epic Tier Advanced Grade. Treasure effect: when life forms encounter a death crisis, they can always perfectly resolve this death crisis because of various accidents. Treasure description: a mystical item created by the god of death Thanatos with the power of the law of death. It can allow the person who obtains it to be immune to a death crisis once. Prompt: it is ineffective against crises at the God tier and above. It's useless against dangers at the God tier and above. The sky-devouring thunder dragon is a legendary tier elementary grade dragon. It should be able to... Zhou only hesitated for a few seconds before tearing the scroll in his hand. The next second, a wisp of black will-o-wisp flew out of the death immunity scroll and disappeared into the void. Zhou looked at this scene and secretly looked forward to success. He did not want to give up on his loyal soldiers. Below the sandstorm forbidden land. In the kingdom of eternal silence. Eternal Silence Palace. The king and queen of eternal silence, who were sleeping, suddenly had an extremely short dream at the same time. In the dream, they saw a black spaceship being swallowed by a huge black blue sky devouring thunder dragon. They felt something. This spaceship was the spaceship that they had promised the mysterious merchant to protect the forces of Blazing Sun City. Both of them suddenly opened their eyes. They looked at each other and slowly disappeared. Above the sandstorm violent storm, the sky-devouring thunder dragon. Kafeng turned into a bolt of lightning and streaked across the sky at an astonishing speed. leaving the area covered by the sandstorm tornado. His kingdom was nearby. As one of the local tyrants, it naturally knew that the terrifying sandstorm tornado area under it was the territory of the legendary king of eternal silence and his wife. While it was puzzled by its self-isolation behavior and even felt that the other party was very stupid, being willing to stay in the depths of the ground for thousands of years instead of caring about their powerful strength and seeking power. Such behavior could not be done without extraordinary awareness and determination. However, even though it felt that the other party was very stupid, it was still very afraid of their strength. It did not want to cause trouble. Right now, it only wanted to leave this place quickly and digest the food it had just eaten. Thinking of the food in his stomach, the sky-devouring thunder dragon could not help but swallow. It sensed the existence of an extremely pure-blooded dragon hero in the black spaceship. If such an existence was at the same strength as it would probably scram as far as it could. No matter how bold it would not dare to provoke it. However, in its perception, this pure-blooded dragon hero was only at the yellow gold tier advanced grade. Thinking of this, it could not help but laugh wildly. It was really a delicious food that delivered itself to its mouth. Even though it was called the sky-devouring thunder dragon, it was actually just a drake with a rich dragon bloodline. It was only by luck that it ate a black fruit which increased its potential greatly. After thousands of years of killing, its strength had advanced by leaps and bounds to this point. Now, not only had it obtained the favor of the Crimson Overlord, it had also established its own Crimson Kingdom. Thinking about it was like a dream. If it ate this yellow gold tier advanced grade pure-blooded dragon hero, not only could the dragon bloodline in its body increase again, it might also be able to comprehend the hero fate level slot in the other party's body and become a true noble hero. This was definitely the second great opportunity he had obtained since the black fruit. Thinking of this, it flew faster away from the sandstorm tornado area. It could not wait to enjoy the taste of a pure-blooded dragon hero. But at this moment, rumble, a deafening thunderclap suddenly sounded. It was so high-pitched that it even hurt the ears of a legendary tier elementary grade expert. The next second, a large amount of lightning and wind flew out of the sandstorm tornado below and formed a towering figure 5,000 meters tall in front of it. Its entire body was wrapped in lightning and wind. It was wearing ancient black armor, and on its shoulders stood a 1,000-meter-tall wind spirit and a 1,000-meter-tall lightning spirit. It was the King of Eternal Silence. "Spit out what you just ate." The King of Eternal Silence's voice rumbled, as if the god of wind and thunder was giving an oracle. The sky-devouring thunder dragon looked at the other party's majestic body with extreme fear. Using the vengeful spirit body to control the power of wind and lightning, this was completely inconsistent with common sense. No wonder the other legendary tier existences said that the King of Eternal Silence and his wife were not far from divinity to become god spirits. It was silent for a second before suddenly turning around and driving its aurora lightning wings in the opposite direction with all its might. However, it saw a towering female figure that was not inferior to the King of Eternal Silence not long after it flew. She was wearing dark golden armor and seemed to have stars flickering on the surface of her body. She appeared out of thin air in the direction it fled. It was the Eternal Silence Queen. "Spit out what you just ate." The Eternal Silence Queen's voice rumbled. Every word was like a falling star, causing the soul of the sky-devouring thunder dragon to ache faintly. The sky-devouring thunder dragon was shocked. "Your Majesties, don't attack. We can discuss this. If you want the spaceship I ate, I'll spit it out," the sky-devouring thunder dragon said. With that, it opened its mouth, and rays of spatial distortion appeared beside it. But in the next second, it suddenly disappeared. The world seemed to have lost its existence. The King of Eternal Silence and the Queen of Eternal Silence watched this scene calmly. "Eternal Silence? Country!" The soft voice of the King of Eternal Silence came from the sky. When Jojo and the others saw the scenery outside again, they also saw the figures of the King of Eternal Silence and the Queen of Eternal Silence. Jojo could not help but fall into shock. Was this the true form of the two legendary tier advanced grade majesties? It was completely different from what he had seen in the Eternal Silence Palace. My death immunity scroll actually attracted these two's help? Well, at this distance, only these two could help resolve his crisis. Come out and meet us. Don't worry. That sky-devouring thunder dragon is already dead. At this moment, the King of Eternal Silence's voice sounded. Wanya, open the hatch. Zhou came back to his senses, took a deep breath, and said solemnly, Yes, my lord. Wanya trailed off. A spatial door appeared in front of him out of thin air as soon as she finished speaking. Seeing this, Zhou used the flying ability of the new wind ceremony on his body and took a step forward to arrive outside the flying ship. Then he saw the two majesties. He used the energy in his body to set up a protective membrane to prevent the strong wind and cold from attacking him. Then he bowed and said, Greetings, majesties. Thank you for saving me this time. Otherwise, we might be in a life and death crisis. Why don't we leave through the sandstorm forbidden land? The King of Eternal Silence said. As a lord, I want to see what the domain in the sky looks like. Zhou told the truth. The King of Eternal Silence and his wife nodded slightly. That was normal. However, he lacked some common sense. Explore the high continent first. The domain of the sky will come when you have a god-tier subject in your territory. The Queen of Eternal Silence said warmly. Are there god spirits in the sky? Zhou was secretly shocked. That's right. After they become a god spirit, they will have to build their own divine kingdom in the starry sky. The closer we are to the sky, the closer we are to the divine kingdom of the god spirits. For lords like you who have just begun your growth, the chances of being close to gods and encountering bad things are far higher than the chances of encountering good things. Thank you for your guidance. Zhou thanked him sincerely. He did not know such common knowledge. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have come. He had wasted a death immunity scroll for nothing. Fortunately, he had gained something from the stomach of the sky-devouring thunder dragon. Otherwise, he would have suffered a huge loss. After the two kings finished speaking, they looked towards Black Ghost. A hint of laughter appeared in their eyes. That spectral dragon had already been born. Moreover, its strength had increased quite quickly and was already at the white silver tier advanced grade. Not only that, it also had a companion which was also a pure-blooded dragon. That mysterious merchant had sold it to a good buyer. They only felt that the mysterious merchant had sold the spectral dragon egg to the Lord of Blazing Sun City. They had never thought that the Lord of Blazing Sun City was the mysterious merchant who had traded with them back then. After all, according to normal high-continent common sense, how could the most mysterious merchant faction be related to a lord who had just risen? Just pass through the sandstorm forbidden land in the future. We can sense your existence in the sandstorm forbidden zone. Otherwise, what happened today could happen again. Fortunately, we had a premonition of the danger you encountered and could temporarily leave the seal. Otherwise, you would probably have died here today. The Queen of Eternal Silence muttered. I'll crave it to my heart. Zhou said respectfully. It turned out that the death immunity scroll had affected the premonition of these two kings. That was why they could sense the danger they had encountered in the Kingdom of Eternal Silence. TSK. An epic tier treasure could actually resolve a crisis related to a legendary tier enemy. What a good item! In the future, if he obtained another Holy Spirit tier Faith Divine Crystal, he would have to exchange for a few more from the God of Death. This item felt useless when he did not need it, but it could really save his life when it was really necessary. He looked at the couple and felt a little emotional. These legendary tier majesties really did not put on any airs. Their conversation was abnormally intimate. Perhaps this was also related to the fact that they had been living underground. On the other side, the King and Queen of Eternal Silence nodded when they saw Zhou's appearance. He was a young man who listened. Leave, the King of Eternal Silence said. In the end, I still have to thank the two majesties for saving my life. I'll leave now, Zhou said politely. Then he returned to the Black Ghost. Then, Black Ghost turned into a black stream of light and rushed into the sandstorm tornado. Just as they rushed in, The sandstorm tornado seemed to have a consciousness and automatically made way for the black ghost to fly in and fly towards the green wilderness. This Lord of the Blazing Sun is not an ordinary person. Even though he's still very weak, his subordinates all have great potential. The Queen of Eternal Silence smiled. None of the people who can trade with the mysterious merchant are simple, the King of Eternal Silence said. The Queen of Eternal Silence nodded. The two of them were not in a hurry to leave. Instead, they stood there and quietly looked at the scenery. It's beautiful, the Queen of Eternal Silence muttered. The King of Eternal Silence did not speak. He only took the Eternal Silence Queen's hand. The two of them quietly looked at the most ordinary and charming scenery in the sky. After a long time, the King of Eternal Silence pulled the reluctant Queen of Eternal Silence into the sandstorm tornado again and returned to the Kingdom of Eternal Silence. On the other side, Zhou stood in front of the window and quietly looked at the scenery outside. I was too rash. As a lord, my idea of exploring my surroundings is right, but I should have done a thorough investigation before coming. This time, all of us survived because of the death immunity scroll. If I encounter such a situation again, I'm afraid I can only rely on return to the city. Zhou reflected on himself. His smooth-sailing experience during this period of time had made him a little arrogant. He actually caused such a thing to happen. He was indeed invincible among the human lords of the Cerulean planet. However, he was still not worth mentioning among the lords of all races or even in front of the factions and experts who had developed for thousands of years or even hundreds of thousands of years in the high continent. He took a deep breath and stretched out his right hand to look at an item in his palm. It was a seed. A black seed. This was his only gain in the stomach of the sky-devouring thunder dragon. Zhou looked at the seed. It was Zhou who had immediately ordered Wanya to search for the treasures around the flying ship when he sensed that someone was saving them from the outside world. This legendary tier elementary grade sky-devouring thunder dragon had such a huge stomach. Anything it left behind could be considered a treasure in the outside world. In the end, when you discovered that even though the stomach of the sky-devouring thunder dragon was unbelievably big, there was only one black seed left in it. The other items had been melted by its stomach fluid. Zhou did not think too much about it when he heard this news. He immediately asked Wanya to put it away. Until now, Zhou looked at the black seed. A text notification appeared. Treasure name, Sacred Bloodfruit Seed. Treasure level, True God tier. Treasure effect. After planting it, it can be nurtured into a sacred blood flower with the bloodline of various creatures. The sacred blood flower can produce a sacred blood fruit. After eating it, it can be used to purify the highest level bloodline you possess. It can be purified to the true God tier bloodline. Treasure description. The legendary sacred blood fruit that can increase one's bloodline. Even most god spirits have only heard of it and never seen it with their own eyes. Zhou's eyes widened. A true god-tier fruit seed? Moreover, it was a fruit that could purify the bloodline? The thing taken out of the stomach of the legendary tier elementary Scarlet Lord was indeed a treasure. However, when he saw the description in the treasure's effect that it needed to be watered with bloodline to nurture the sacred blood flower, he could not help but raise his eyebrows slightly. I actually need to water it with bloodline? Then this nurturing difficulty is really high. Zhou frowned slightly. Bloodlines did not refer to bloodlines that could be seen everywhere. The bloodline mentioned in its treasure effect could only be obtained from loots like the vampire bloodline that Zhou had obtained in the past. He would water it with his vampire bloodline when he returned. Zhou thought. After using the vampire Viscount bloodline to upgrade his chaos human bloodline to the green bronze tier elementary grade, he still had more than 100 portions of the Vampire Baron bloodline left. He had never taken out these Vampire Baron bloodlines for the soldiers to exchange for them because he was worried about the suppression of the high-level vampire bloodline on the low-level vampire bloodline. Instead, he had kept them in his hands. He had originally wanted to take it out to exchange with the soldiers after finding a solution to the problem of the bloodline suppression of the vampire bloodline. Since he had no clue how to do that, he could use it to water the seeds of the sacred blood fruit. Thinking of this, Zhou solemnly put away the seed and prepared to nurture it when he returned to the territory at night. As for now, he had to deal with Dark Night Town first. Thinking of this, he took out the map. Then, he accidentally discovered that there were 2 green bronze tier regional territories and 1 black iron tier regional territories in the east and west of the Sandstorm Forbidden Land and in the east of the Green Forest. Zhou remembered. Wu had told him this a long time ago. It was just that so much time had passed and he could not lead the army through the Sandstorm Forbidden Land back then, so he gradually forgot about it. Then let's settle it smoothly. It won't take long anyway. Let's deal with Dark Night Town after dealing with this black iron tier region, 2 green bronze tier regions, and 2 white silver tier regions. Zhou made a decision. Fighting 1 region was fighting. Fighting 2 regions was also considered fighting. It was better to deal with it all at once so that he would not have to make another trip in the future. In any case, with the strength of these low-level regional territories, it was not a problem for his more than 70,000 military professionals to deal with them. Half a minute later, the Black Ghost flew out of the Sandstorm Forbidden Land and arrived at the territory of the Green Forest. As soon as they entered this area, when you very considerately turned on the virtual screen for the soldiers in every area of the Black Ghost to broadcast the current environment of the Green Forest. The greenery was just like its name. Not only was the vegetation lush, but there was also abundant water. All kinds of small animals could be seen everywhere, looking lively. When the soldiers of the Blazing Sun Army saw the environment here, they were immediately surprised and delighted. So many green plants. I see the creek and the woods. There. The scenery here is so beautiful. It's completely different from the desert environment. After today, the Scarlet Lord forces in this area should be completely destroyed by our Lord. At that time, this area will be ours. Everyone was discussing spiritedly. They liked the environment of the Green Forest very much. At the same time, in the captain's cabin, Zhou could not help but sigh when he saw the Green Forest. It was clearly so close to the Blazing Sun Desert, and the north was a natural disaster forbidden area like the Sandstorm Forbidden Zone. However, the environment here was like a paradise. It was simply unbelievable. Zhou did not understand the mystery behind this. Perhaps this was nature's uncanny workmanship. Let's descend, Zhou ordered. Yes, my lord. Wenya accepted the order. Then, she let the Black Ghost begin to descend quickly and quickly stopped in the air on a flat grassland. And before that, Zhou also used the communication function of the spaceship to get all the members of the army to prepare for battle. Therefore, even though many people still could not help but look at the surrounding scenery, most of them had serious expressions and were ready to fight when they emerged from the Black Ghost. After Zhou came down from the Black Spirit, he immediately took out the map of the Green Forest and looked at it. In the white silver tier territory of the Green Forest, there were a total of 3 white silver tier Scarlet Lord territories, 5 green bronze tier Scarlet Lord territories, 12 black iron tier Scarlet Lord territories, and 6 foreign race Lord territories. The Lord's territory was extraordinarily large. It should be because this place was rich in resources and suitable for living. After Zhou looked at the map for a while, he handed it to Bai Yun and let her make the decision. After Bai Yun took a look, she ordered the members of the 2 legions to rush to the green bronze tier Scarlet Lord's territory closest to them. 2 hours later, the Green Wilderness was completely captured by the soldiers of the Blazing Sun Army and the Monster Army. Seeing this, Zhou got all the members of the army to board the Black Ghost again and fly towards the green bronze tier territory beside them. On the spaceship, Zhou looked at a branch in his hand. This branch was completely emerald green and emitted a vibrant green aura and green light. In Zhou's perception, it was simply like a living creature and even had a weak heartbeat. In fact, half an hour ago, its owner was indeed a life. It came from a wood elf and was one of the 6 lords of the Green Forest. Zhou was barely related to the Elven Empire because of the blood rocket spirit Nadia. Originally, he wanted to persuade the other party to surrender. After all, even though the other party had more than 2,000 low-level wood elves, however, it was still not worth mentioning in front of his more than 70,000 army. However, even though the other party had seen his strength and knew that he could not win, he refused to surrender. Even though Zhou admired the other party's courage, he did not stand on ceremony and directly destroyed them all. Then, he obtained this branch from the loot of the other party's Lord quality +1. Zhou looked at the branch. The item information appeared. Bloodline name, high level wood elf race bloodline level. Extraordinary tier elementary grade bloodline effect. After absorbing it, the user can obtain an extraordinary tier elementary grade bloodline, the high level wood elf bloodline. After fusing with this bloodline, the user will gradually awaken some of the racial abilities of the high-level wood elves during their growth. Prompt: fuse 100 sets of extraordinary tier elementary grade high-level wood elf bloodline, and you can obtain 1 epic tier intermediate tier nature elf bloodline. Chaos human race bloodline optimization hint 1. After the chaos human race absorbs it, they can erase the plant divinity of the tree of life in this high-level wood elves bloodline, thereby preventing the chaos human race from being affected by the tree of life. Chaos human race bloodline optimization hint 2. After the chaos human race absorbs it, the racial skill, Summon Treant Leader, will be upgraded to Summon Chaos Demon Tree Leader. Do you want to absorb it? Diamond tier elementary grade wood elf bloodline. It's stronger than the vampire Viscount's bloodline. Zhou sighed. The vampire Viscount's bloodline was only at the diamond tier advanced grade. This bloodline was 1 whole level higher than the vampire Viscount bloodline. Not only that, it was also strengthened by the chaos human race bloodline. Mythical tier bloodline was awesome. In addition, he felt a little emotional. It was really difficult to encounter this group of lords of all races who could drop bloodlines. Until now, he had only encountered this wood elf lord and the previous vampire lord. As for the other lord of all races that Zhou encountered, they were all ordinary lords who would not drop bloodlines. On the lord battlefield, he could encounter many lords with top-notch bloodlines. However, they all had the resurrection token and rebirth token. They were simply unkillable on the lord battlefield. Otherwise, his chaos human race bloodline would have long advanced to a very high level. Then, Zhou looked at the branch and chose to absorb it without hesitation. A text notification appeared. You have absorbed 1 high-level wood elf bloodline, extraordinary tier elementary grade. Your chaos human race bloodline has unearthed more potential and advanced to green bronze tier elementary grade. Your sixth senses ability has been strengthened. You have awakened the white silver tier advanced grade human race talent of chaos. Chaos will. You have awakened the racial talent of the wood elves. Plant affinity. You have awakened the racial talent of the wood elves. A high-level extraordinary tier elementary grade. Grow quickly. You have mastered the extraordinary tier elementary grade racial skill. Plant whisperer. You have mastered the extraordinary tier elementary grade racial skill. Plant manipulation. You have mastered the extraordinary tier elementary grade racial skill. Summon the Treant Leader. Your racial skill, Summon Treant Leader, extraordinary tier elementary grade, has been strengthened and advanced to Summon Chaos Demon Tree Leader, extraordinary tier elementary grade. The next second, Zhou felt that his will was especially clear. At the same time, his perception of his surroundings had increased by 3 to 4 times. At the same time, he could feel green light spots floating in his surroundings. The aura emitted by these green light spots was extremely similar to the aura emitted by the branch. Zhou was a little surprised. Was this an extraordinary tier elementary grade bloodline? It was indeed extraordinary. It directly awakened 3 racial talents and mastered 3 racial skills. Zhou opened them one by one. Firstly, it was naturally the racial talent awakened by the chaos human race's bloodline. Race talent name, chaotic will, talent level, white silver tier advanced grade, enhanceable, talent description. The innate will of the chaos human race is incomparably powerful. Most of what you experience will silently become enlightenment in your mind, allowing your mind and will to grow quickly. When facing will-related attacks such as illusion confusion, mental manipulation, and soul attacks, the chaos human race has a higher chance of being immune to such attacks. When Zhou saw this racial talent, he could not help but smile in surprise. He had very few methods to resist illusions, mental manipulation, and soul attacks, but such attacks were often the most fatal once they were hit. They were even harder to deal with than physical attacks. This chaotic will could make up for his shortcomings. Moreover, this racial talent was the same as the chaotic physique that he had awakened previously. It was a racial talent that could grow. Even in the future, this racial talent would not be outdated and could still provide him with help. Then, he looked at the racial talent awakened by the high-level wood elves. Race talent name, plant affinity, talent level, extraordinary tier elementary grade enhanceable, talent description. High-level wood elves have extraordinary affinity and ability to most plants in nature. During contact with plants, there is a chance that the high-level wood elves will obtain some random information from the plants and a very small chance of comprehending plant-type skills. When using wood element skills, there is a certain chance that the power and effect of the high-level wood elf skills will increase. Race talent name, grow quickly, talent level, extraordinary tier elementary grade, enhanceable, talent description. A high-level wood elf can shorten the growth time of the plant lifeform by instilling the wood attribute origin energy in its body into the plant and make the plant lifeform grow more perfectly. Zhou nodded slightly. Even though these two racial talents were not as useful to him as the chaotic will, they were still very outstanding in terms of support. Finally, he looked at the three racial skills that had been awakened. Race skill name, Plant Whisperer, skill quality, extraordinary tier elementary grade race skill description. High-level wood elves can communicate with plant life forms by releasing their wood attribute energy. Note, the higher the level of life of a plant, the easier it is to communicate. At the same time, the more information you obtain through communication. Conversely, the harder it is to communicate, the less information you obtain. Race skill name, Plant Manipulation, skill quality, extraordinary tier elementary grade, race skill description. A high-level wood elf can control all plant life forms within the range of his mental power that are not stronger than him. Race skill name, Summon Chaos Demon Tree Leader, skill quality, extraordinary tier elementary grade, race skill description. Summon a Chaos Demon Tree Leader with the same strength as you. The Chaos Demon Tree Leader has the combat strength equivalent to a regional Scarlet Lord. It can summon the Chaos Demon Tree Leader at the extraordinary tier elementary grade at most. Zhou was quite satisfied with the skills of these three races, especially the final summon of the Chaos Demon Tree Leader. Even though he could only summon one, its strength was comparable to the Scarlet Lord. He was now a white silver tier advanced grade, which meant that he could summon a white silver tier advanced grade Scarlet Lord. His personal safety increased again. I've gained a lot, Zhou said happily. Bloodline loots were indeed good things. Then he looked at his spatial ring. He saw that there were still 2,132 sets of diamond tier elementary grade wood elves bloodline in his spatial ring. If it was synthesized, it could synthesize 21 high-level wood elf bloodlines, but it could not further synthesize the nature elf bloodline. Zhou felt that it was a pity. If he could synthesize a nature elf bloodline, the racial talent and skills that he had just awakened would definitely increase again. These wood elves don't have vampire bloodlines, so there aren't many restrictions. The soldiers can exchange it. Increase their potential and combat strength. Zhou thought. Then he thought for a while and stopped thinking about it. He focused on the next battle. In the next 3 hours, Zhou led the Blazing Sun Army and the Monster Army to conquer 1 Black Iron Tier regional territory, 2 Green Bronze Tier regional territories, and 1 White Silver Tier regional territory. When they encountered casualties, he had Carol Moali and the others heal and revive. Under such circumstances, when they arrived at Dark Knight Town, they were still at full force. There was not even an injured person or monster soldier.